So now I am going to discuss asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction. Right. So asexual reproduction takes place with the involvement of single parent. Okay. So it takes place with the involvement of single parent. Single parent. So single parent involves in this process. Okay. Right. So there is no involvement of gametes. So gametes involvement. So involvement of gametes is absent. Okay. So gametes do not participate in the process of asexual reproduction. Right. So asexual reproduction is very common. Asexual reproduction is very common in lower plants like algae, fungi, and fungi. So organisms with simple organization perform asexual reproduction commonly. Okay, right. So asexual reproduction, which takes place through several methods. Okay, asexual reproduction takes place through several methods. Okay, number one. So binary fission. Binary fission. Next, budding. Next one, fragmentation. Okay, so binary fission, budding, and fragmentation, and also parthenogenesis. Okay, so let us discuss one by one in detail. So come to the first one. Listen. So binary fission. Listen to me. So listen. So fission. It may be binary fission or multiple fission. Okay. So with examples. So paramecium. So euglena. Paramecium, euglena, and bacteria. So bacteria. So bacteria is a plural word. Plural. Singular bacterium. Singular bacterium. Plural bacteria. Okay. So let us discuss the process of binary fission or fission in bacteria. Listen to me carefully. This is the bacterial cell. This is the bacterial cell. So this is the cell wall. Right. So below the cell wall, this is the plasma membrane. So plasma membrane is present below the cell wall in bacterial cell. Right. So at certain places, plasma membrane forms invagination. So these are invaginations. Invaginations are infoldings. Invagination or infoldings. Right. These infoldings are known as mesosome. mesosome, mesosomes, special structures present in the bacterial cell. So what are mesosomes? These are the enfoldings of plasma membrane. Okay, right. So this is the genetic material. So genetic material, that is DNA. Okay, in bacterial cell, genetic material, that is DNA, which is called as genophore. Genophore. Okay, so genophore is the genetic material of bacterial cell. Okay, right. So which is double stranded circular DNA molecule. Okay, so DNA has two strands, circular in outline, present at the center of cell. This is genophore, right? Now, with the help of mesosomes, DNA replicates and forming two copies. So these are two copies of DNA. DNA replicates and forming two copies with the help of mesosomes. Okay, right. Now, in the next step, these two mesosomes elongate towards each other and meet at the center of cell. Two opposite mesosomes elongate in size and meet with one another at the center of the cell. Okay, so here mesosomes divide the cytoplasm. This is the cytoplasm. Okay, now mesosomes divide the cytoplasm into two parts. Cytoplasm two parts got divided out with the help of mesosomes due to the elongation of mesosomes. Okay, right. Now a new cell wall is formed in the mesosomes. This is the new cell wall. New cell wall is formed in the mesosomes. Okay, eventually, which divides the cell into two. Two daughter cells are formed. Okay, so whenever two cells are formed from single parental cell, which is called as binary fission. Binary fission. So when two cells are formed single parental cell, which is called as binary fission. Okay, right now, whenever more than two cells are formed, from single parental cell. When more than two cells are formed from single parental cell, which is called as multiple fission. Multiple fission, not binary fission. Okay, so during the binary fission, two cells only formed from single parental cell. Okay, right. So especially in making lactobacillus, that is the bacterium, it grows in the curd, okay, and undergoes binary fission repeatedly and forming numerous bacterial cells in the curd. Okay, right, very, very important. Listen to me carefully. During the binary fission or fission, two cells are identical. In size, symmetrical. Okay, so division is equal. Okay, right. So that is the process of binary fission. Let us start next one. So next method is budding. Next method is budding. Example for this: yeast yeast. So what are yeast? These are fungal cells, fungi. Okay, so these are unicellular fungi, that is yeast. Okay, it exhibits asexual reproduction through budding. Okay, so this is the best example species for budding, that is yeast. So come to the yeast. Right. So this is the yeast cell. Yeast cell. Okay, so this is the cell wall. Right. So this is the cytoplasm or protoplasm. Okay, this is the nucleus. This is the nucleus in the yeast cell. During this process, a small bud-like structure arises from the top of the cell. For example, look at this. At this place, a small bud-like structure. Small bud-like structure arises. Okay, and nucleus divides into two. So nucleus divides into two. Okay, so finally, this bud-like structure gets separated from parental cell. This bud-like structure gets separate from parental cell. Okay. So what happened is in this process, one cell is too large and recently formed newly formed cell is smaller in size. That's why division is unequal. Division is unequal. Okay. So in case of binary fission, division is equal. But here in this process, division is unequal. That results in the formation of one smaller cell and one larger cell. Okay, so this process is known as budding. Best example for this, yeast. Okay, yeast is a unicellular fungal cell. Unicellular fungal cell. Right. So let us start. Next method. Fragmentation. Fragmentation. Okay, very important. The process of asexual reproduction through fragmentation is most common in the organisms having simple organization. Okay, so organisms having simple organization, this is the most common type of asexual reproduction, that is fragmentation. Okay, give the suitable example organisms for this. Number one, flatworms. Flatworms. Next, lichens. Lichens. Do you know about lichen? Lichen is symbiotic association between algal member and fungal member. Okay, so between algal and fungal members, there is a symbiotic association. Such structure is called as lichen. Okay, lichen, it is an example for symbiotic association also. Right. Mounds. Mounds. The molds and the booze okay. Example, rhizopus. Molds, bread mold. Okay, right. Next, and another one is Spirogyra. Spirogyra. So Spirogyra is an algal member. Algal member. Algae. It belongs to algae. Okay, listen to me carefully. So fragmentation, a kind of asexual reproduction, very common in the organisms having simplest organization. Best example, algal members and fungal members. Okay, as well as lichens. Right. So come to the Spirogyra. Yes. Spirogyra is green algae. Green algae. So green algal member. Okay. Found in fresh water. Found in fresh water. Okay. Right. So very important. Its plant body is filamentous. 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 Okay. So it consists of 7 cells. These are the cells. Okay. Filamentous structure. It consists of many cells. Cells are arranged in sticky flow. Okay. And it floats freely on the surface of water. That is Spirogyra. Okay. Spirogyra, it floats freely on the surface of water. That is fresh water. It is a filamentous algae. Okay. Right. So due to mechanical injury by water currents or aquatic animals, listen to me carefully, due to mechanical injury by water currents or aquatic animals, the filament is broken. So filament is broken into many fragments. Okay, entire filament is broken into many fragments due to mechanical injury by aquatic animals or water currents. Okay, then each filament, so each fragment which develops into new filament or new plant body. So each fragment develops into new plant body. Okay, so entire filament is broken and forming many fragments. Each fragment develops into new plant body. Okay, so that is fragmentation. Okay, which is very common in lower organisms like algae and fungi. Okay, right. Let us start next method. Parthenogenesis. 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 First of all, we will discuss what is the difference between parthenocarpic fruit and parthenogenesis. Okay, listen to me. Another word that is parthenocarpic. Parthenocarpic fruit or parthenocarpic. Okay, yes. Now we will discuss parthenocarpic fruits. For example, this is a gynoecium in flowering plants. This is a gynoecium in the flowering plants. Okay, so these are ovules. So generally, after the completion of fertilization, ovary develops into fruit and ovules are developed into seeds, which is quite natural in flowering plants. But without fertilization, ovary it becomes stimulated, gets stimulated, and develops into a fruit. Directly without fertilization, very important. Okay, so without fertilization, when ovary develops into a fruit directly, that is parthenocarpic fruit. Usually these fruits are seedless fruits. Okay, best example watermelon, grapes, okay, etc. parthenocarpic fruits. Okay, write down formation of a fruit. Formation of a fruit from ovary directly without fertilization. Without fertilization. So that is parthenocarpic fruit. It is also a kind of asexual reproduction. Such fruits are seedless, without seeds. Right. So come to parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis. So what happens in parthenogenesis? Listen to me carefully. So this is the ovule. Ovule. Okay. So this is integument. It is an embryo cell. Embryo cell. Okay. Towards microbiome, how many cells are present in the embryo cell? 3 cells. 3 cells. Namely, 2 synogytes and 1 egg cell. Okay. Actually, during the fertilization, one sperm or one male gamete fuses egg cell that results in the formation of diploid zygote. Diploid zygote. Okay. So quite normal in flowering plants. But in this case, fertilization does not take place. Fertilization does not take place. Okay. In the meantime, so this is haploid egg cell which develops into zygote. Haploid egg cell develops into zygote without fertilization. Okay. Then zygote develops into embryo. Tell me, what is the difference between fertilized egg cell and unfertilized egg cell? Fertilized egg cell forms diploid zygote, but unfertilized egg cell forms haploid, monoploid zygote. Okay, na? Haploid or monoploid. So here fertilization does not take place. Okay, write down. Formation of zygote. Formation of zygote from unfertilized egg cell without fertilization is called as parthenogenesis. Okay, right. Right out. During parthenogenesis, zygote is monoploid. Zygote is monoploid, not diploid. So diploid lo undadu. అదే మనకు ఫర్టిలైజ్డ్ ఎగ్ సెల్ అయితే కదా సో మేల్ అండ్ ఎగ్ సెల్స్ రెండు ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతాయి కాబట్టి జైగోట్ డిప్లాయిడ్ ఉంటుంది. బట్ హియర్ జైగోట్ ఈస్ హ్యాప్లాయిడ్ ఆర్ మోనోప్లాయిడ్. ఓకే, రైట్. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ద ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ parthenogenesis. ఓకే, ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వాటర్ మెలన్, ఓకే, గ్రేప్స్, ఇవన్నీ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకున్నారు కదా. లెట్స్ స్టార్ట్. Vegetative reproduction. So vegetative reproduction. So vegetative reproduction. Okay. So very, very important. In this process, a small fragment of the plant body gets separated and develops into new plant directly. Okay. So it may be right down natural or artificial. Natural or artificial. So natural vegetative propagation, artificial vegetative propagation. Okay. Yes. Already we have discussed that the part of the plant body it involves in vegetative propagation is called as vegetative propagule. Vegetative propagule. Right now, very, very important. So the part of the plant body it involves in vegetative propagation is called as vegetative propagule. So vegetative propagule and chapari. Okay. So one more important point in both asexual reproduction and vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction, the group of progeny obtained from single parent, like asexual reproduction, even vegetative propagation, single parent involves. Okay, so important. But the group of progeny derived from single parent is called as clone. Clone. Okay, clone. So clone is a group of progeny derived from single parent. Okay, in this group, progeny organisms are identical in morphologically, so morphologically and genetically. So morphologically and genetically, that is the group of identical organisms, that is clone. Okay, right. So come to natural vegetative propagation. Natural vegetative propagation. So in some plants, vegetative reproduction takes place through leaves. Leaf. Okay, best example for this, bryophyllum. Bryophyllum. It is an example plant in which leaves involved in the process of vegetative reproduction. Okay, so listen to me. So in bryophyllum, leaves are succulent. Leaves are succulent. Succulent means fleshy. Due to the storage of water in their leaves, leaves are fleshy, nothing but succulent. Okay, so bryophyllum is a xerophyte. It is a xerophyte. Okay, succulent xerophyte. Okay, so plant it absorbs water and store it in the form of mucilage or gelatinous substance in their leaves. Okay, right. So come to bryophyllum. In bryophyllum, this is the shape of leaf. So this is the leaf. So this is the leaf. Right. So along the margin of leaf, adventitious buds are present. So these are adventitious buds. So these are adventitious buds. Okay. Adventitious buds. Adventitious buds are present along the margin. So along the edge of leaf. Okay, these buds, these adventitious buds are called as epiphyllous. Epiphyllous buds. So Whitney epiphyllous buds under epiphyllous buds. Okay, when the leaf touches the ground, each bud develops into new plant by producing adventitious roots. So adventitious roots. When leaf touches the ground, each epiphyllous bud develops into a new plant by producing adventitious roots. Okay, right. After the disintegration of leaf, these newly formed plants get separate and grow independently. Okay, so that is the process of vegetative reproduction in the bryophylla. Tell me which part of the plant body involves in the vegetative reproduction in bryophyllum? Leaf is the correct answer. Leaf. Okay, right. So next one. So in some plants, stem also involved in the process of vegetative reproduction. Right. So take some examples. Okay. In some plants, underground stems involved in the process of vegetative reproduction. Best example, rhizome. Rhizome is the stem modification, underground stem modification. Okay, example, gingiber officinalis. Ginger. Okay, gingiber officinalis. Next, in some plants, underground stem modification is corm. Example plant, Colocasia. Example plant. Next, in some plants, stem tuber. Example potato. Next, in some plants, bulb. Bulb is present that involves in vegetative reproduction. Example, allium cepa, onion. Okay. So in some plants, runner. So runners. Example, oxalis. Okay. In some plants, stolons. Stolons are present. These are also stem modification. Okay. So example, so Vallisneria and strawberry. Some more examples are there. Jasmine and Nerium. So these are the example plants for the presence of stolons. Okay, right. Next, in some plants, In some plants, suckers also present. These are also stem modifications involved in vegetative reproduction. So, example, mentha, mentha viridis, pudina. Next, chrysanthemum, marigold, chamanti, banti. Okay, right. So there are so many example plants for the presence of stem modifications which are involved in vegetative reproduction. Okay, let us start one by one in brief. Okay, so come to first one, rhizome, ginger. Okay, so first one is rhizome. Example plant is ginger. Ginger. Listen to me. In this plant, stem is present below the ground level and it grows horizontally below the ground level. So this is the ginger. In this plant, stem grows below the ground level and horizontally. Okay, right. So stem it bears nodes. So these are nodes and internodes. Internodes. Okay, stem it bears nodes and internodes. Very, very important. At every node, axillary bud is present. So this is the axillary bud. Axillary bud. So axillary bud is present at every node. Right. So these are axillary buds. Okay. Right. So axillary bud develops into lateral branch. Axillary bud develops into lateral branch. Okay. It stores food materials. When it gets separate from other plant, which develops into a new plant. Okay, so that is vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. Okay, so this is the axillary bud which develops into lateral branch. Okay, after the storage of food materials, it gets separate from other plant and develops into new plant. Okay, next one. So corn. Okay, so example plant is Colocasia. Colocasia. Right. So in this plant, underground stem is vertical. Vertical. It grows vertically below the ground level. Right. Cylindrical in outline. Cylindrical in outline. Right. It bears nodes and internodes. So these are nodes and internodes. Okay. Very, very important. At every node, axillary buds are present. So these are axillary buds. So each axillary bud develops into daughter corm. So this is the daughter corm. Daughter corm. Okay, each axillary bud develops into daughter corm. Okay, after some time, it gets separate from mother plant and develops into a new plant. Yes, this is vegetative propagation in colocasia. Tell me. So in colocasia, vegetative reproduction takes place. Okay, true, calm. Right. Next, another example. Next one. Stem tuber. Stem tuber. Example, potato. Potato. Okay, in potato. Yes, this is the stem modification. Okay, right? On its surface, several eye-like structures are present. These are eye-like structures. Eye-like structures. Okay, right? Inside the eye-like structure, there is a semi-lunar scale. Semi-lunar scale is present inside the eye-like structure. Right. So, at every, very important, each eye-like structure represents a node. అక్కడ ఎన్ని eye-like structures ఉంటే అన్ని nodes ఉన్నాయి. Okay. So axillary buds are present at the place of node. Right. So these are axillary buds. Very important. Each axillary bud develops into new plant. So new plant. Each axillary bud which is present at eye-like structure develops into a new plant. That is vegetative propagation in potato. Okay, tell me name of this stem modification in potato. Stem tuber. Name of the stem modification in ginger. Rhizome. Name of the stem modification in colocasia. Corm. So all these structures are involved in vegetative propagation. Okay, right. Come to next one. Bulb. So bulb. Next one. Example for this. Allium cepa. Allium cepa. Commonly called as onion. Onion. Allium cepa. Generally called as onion. Listen to me in brief. In onion, stem is reduced. Stem is reduced and forming a small disc-like structure. A small disc-like structure. So this is a reduced stem. It does not store food materials. Right. Above it, these are leaf bases. Leaf bases. So these are leaf bases. Okay, leaf bases only present below the ground level. Remaining one of the leaf. So this is the ground level. This is the ground level. Leaf bases are present below the ground level, and the remaining part of the leaf is present above the ground level. Okay, so this is a reduced stem. Right. On the lower surface, so these are advanced roots. So these are advances roots. Okay. So these are roots. So these are leaf bases. So these are the lamina. Remaining part of the leaf. Okay. Very important. In the axis of leaves, axillary buds are present. So these are axillary buds. Many axillary buds are present in the axils of leaves. So these are axillary buds. Right. Each axillary bud develops into daughter bud. Each axillary bud develops into daughter bud. Daughter bud. So that is vegetative propagation. Each axillary bud develops into a daughter bulb. That is the mode of vegetative reproduction in onion. Okay, right. So next one. So next one. So number 5. Stolons. Stolons. It is also stem modification. So example for this, Vallisneria, strawberry. Okay, so jasmine and Nerium. So Nerium. Okay, listen to me. Take the jasmine. In jasmine or Nerium. So this is the plant body. So this is the stem. This is the root system. So root system and stem. Okay, so these are the branches. So these are the branches, right? So these are the leaves on the branches. So these are the leaves on the branches. Very important. Some weak branches, slender branches arise from the basal part of the stem. So this is the basal part of the stem. Look at this. So this is the basal portion of the stem from which. So these are the weak branches. Okay, right. They grow obliquely upwards for some time, then arches down. They bend towards the soil. Okay, right. So arches down and touches the ground, and finally the tip of the branch become area. Correct. Yes. So this is the branch. This is the branch. Okay. Listen to me carefully. Some weak branches arise from the basal part of the stem. They grow obliquely upwards for some time. Then arches down, bend downwardly and touching the ground. And finally, the tip of the branch becomes aerial and erect. Okay. So where does the branch touch the ground? At the base, advances buds arise from the lower surface of the branch. ఎక్కడైతే బ్రాంచ్ సాయిల్ టచ్ చేస్తుందో ఓకే at that place advances roots arise from the lower surface, right? This branch is known as stolon. This weak branch is known as stolon. Listen to me carefully. Whenever it gets separate from another plant which develops into new plant, which develops into new plant. Very, very important. Stolon is the principle. So stolon is the principle for layering. So that is artificial vegetative propagating method. That is layering. Okay, na? Stolon natural, but same principle can be used in the process of layering. Okay, so ఇదే ప్రాసెస్ మనం లేయరింగ్ లో కూడా యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ వన్. So next one, suckers. It is also a kind of stem modification. Generally, it is said to be subaerial stem modification. Okay, look at this. This is the ground level. So this is the stem. But very, very important, lower part of the stem is present below the ground level. Remaining part of the stem is present below the ground level. Yes, it is a typical subaerial stem. Right. Listen to me. So this is the root system. Right. So from the basal part of the stem, actually which is present below the ground level, from which branches arise. Okay. Initially, these branches grow horizontally below the ground level. Then each branch grows obliquely upwards and come out of the ground. So this is the branch. Initially, it grows horizontally for some time. Then it grows obliquely upwards, and finally they come out of the ground. Right. So this is the branch. It bears leaves. Okay. These branches are known as sucker. What is the difference between stolon and sucker? Stolon, it is a branch that grows obliquely downwards. But sucker, it grows obliquely upwards. That is the difference. Okay, listen to me carefully. From the lower surface of the sucker branch, so these are adventitious roots. That arise from the lower surface of the branch. Yes, after some time, this is the underground branch, nothing but sucker. It gets separated from the mother plant and develops into a new plant. Yes, it is also vegetative reproduction. Okay, right. So now come to another modification, that is runner. So runners. Suitable example for this, oxalis, scientific name of the plant. Yes, oxalis. Listen to me. So again, this is the ground level. So this is the taproot system. Okay. So this is the stem. Very, very important. In this case, stem is weak and prostrate. So that means stem increase on the surface of the ground. So this is stem, weak stem. It creeps on the surface of ground with the help of advanced roots. So these are advanced roots. Listen to me carefully. At every node, so these are the nodes on the stem. At every node, advanced roots are present, as well as aerial leaves. So these are leaves. Leaves also present at every node. For example, in this diagram, there are three nodes. Can you see at every node, photosynthetic leaves and advanced roots are present. Yes. So these are internodes. These are internodes. Listen to me carefully. In mature region, in older region, when internodes break off, each node develops into a new plant. When internodes break up, every node it becomes independent and grows and develops into a new plant. For example, here three nodes are present. Okay, each node develops into a new plant. That means three new plants are generated through this process in this case. Okay, yes, it is also a kind of vegetative reproduction. Okay, here the stem modification is runner. Okay, giving you suitable example for this oxalis. Okay, when compared to leaf and roots, in most of the plants, stem involves in this process, vegetative propagation. Okay, and the last one is vegetative propagation through leaves and stem is over. Last one is root. In very few, in some plants only, roots also involved in vegetative propagation. Okay, so best example, right now, carrot, scientifically called as Dacus carota. Next, dahlia. It is a leafy vegetable. Dahlia. This is another example. Okay, in these plants, root involves in vegetative reproduction. Okay, yes, in brief, look at this. This is the stem. This is the root. These are the lateral roots. Okay, so adventist birds are developed on the root system. So these are adventist birds. Then each bird develops into new plant. Each bird develops into new plant. Very simple process. Okay. Generally, birds are absent on the root system. In some flowering plants like dahlia and carrot, advanced birds are present on the root system. Okay, they develop into new plants. It is also vegetative reproduction. Okay, all these examples are belonging to natural vegetative propagation. Okay, later on we will discuss artificial vegetative propagation. Okay, cutting, layering, grafting. Okay, so there are so many methods in artificial vegetative propagation. Okay, in the next class we will discuss about such methods in vegetative reproduction. Okay, right. So upcoming class is physics. Okay, wait for some time. Take a small break.